Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ahlan wa sahlan. Welcome, guys. Another lesson. We've been a while that we haven't done a lesson on Manflooti, so I thought I'd do a lesson for you guys so you guys can understand better the Arabic language. Okay, so لا يستطيع, استطاع يستطيع, to be able. Yeah, it's from the word طاعة. Yeah, so طاعة يطيع, يطوع. لا يستطيع is incapable. الرجل obviously means man. Al-Fadil, virtuous, a really good person. So Arabs use the word Fadil for someone who's Fadl, who's got Fadl. You don't use it for someone who's a bad person. And Yablugh, Balagha Yablugh is to reach. Right, so let me read all of this first of all. ولا لا يستطيع الرجل الفاضل أن يبلغ غايته من عيشه إلا إذا استطاع أن ينزل من نفوس الناس منازل الحب والإكرام ولن يستطيع ذلك إلا إذا عاش بين قوم يعرفون الفضيلة ويعظمون شأنها ولن يكونوا كذلك إلا إذا كانوا فضلاء أو أشباه فضلاء. Right, so غايته, it means end point. Okay, so end point, like peak, you want to say peak, end point, غاية. Right, so you might want to say, for example, like وصلت إلى غاية هذه المسألة. I've reached the end of this مسألة. وصلت إلى غاية السفر. عيش, it means life or livelihood. إلا إذا استطاع, we've done this word يستطيع. And ينزل, نزل ينزل, right, to descend or to come down. Right, so to descend, to come down from a high place, descend from a high place. And this word here is obviously used in a metaphorical way, as we're going to see. Min nufus. And what I would suggest is try to translate this yourselves. Right, honestly, try to translate yourselves so that you get an understanding of how your translation differs from like the correct translation, if yours is not correct. Nufus is the jam of nafs, which means souls, and in this case, hearts. Yeah, hearts, souls or hearts. And nas of the people. Manazil is the jam of manzil. Right, so manzil, it means place, status, place that you reside at. Manazil, station, whatever word you want to use there. Hub is love. And then you have ikram, which is honor and respect. Okay, so honor. لن يستطيع, so لن comes for not emphatically, like absolutely. ذلك إلا إذا عاش يعيش is to live. And then بين, between, so between. قوم, people. يعرفون, who recognize, acknowledge. Alright, الفضيلة, virtue. Word came before him, Fadil. يعظمون. Now, I know I don't really want to put vowels on these words for you guys. Yeah, because I don't want to make it a bit too easy for you. I need to increase the size of this pen. Sha'an means like status. Like status. Sha'an. Status or honor or the sha'an, the matter. لن يكونوا, كان يكونوا, was. إلا إذا كانوا فضلاء. فضلاء is what we call غير منصرف. Okay, this is a غير منصرف word. It's a plural word of fadil. Alright, so fadil, and the singular, the plural is fudala, and it's غير منصرف as well. That's why it's كانوا فضلاء. Yeah, so it's واحد, فتحة, one فتحة. أشباه is from the word shibah, which means something that resembles. Yeah, أشباه. So it's a imitation or resemblance. To resemble, أشباه. From the word shibah, shabih. Yeah, shabihun wa ashbah. You might have heard of the word ashbah wa nadha in a book's name. It's from there. And for Dala, we've done this. Okay. Now again, what you try and do is you try to use these words as best as you can, I would say. Try to utilize these words as best as you can. Implement them. Try to understand how these words function. That way, you're going to make a lot of sense of what you're trying to translate. Otherwise, anything can happen really. Okay, so let's have a look over here then. So let's try to break down some of these sentences. So we have لا يستطيع الرجل الفاضل أن يبلغ غايته. Yeah. لا يستطيع الرجل الفاضل. Remember, رجل is the fa'il of that. So the رجل الفاضل, a virtuous man. We translate this as not the virtuous man. We translate it as a virtuous man. Right? So a virtuous man cannot, does not have the ability. لا يستطيع. Does not have the ability. أن يبلغ, to reach غايته, his peak, his full potential. بلغ يبلغ. Again, this kind of a sentence, you might want to use it in a lot of things. لا أستطيع أن أبلغ غايتي في الدرس. لا أستطيع أن أبلغ غايتي في النوم. ما كان المسلمون أن يبلغوا غايتهم بدون أن سنة النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم مثلا. Okay, so you might want to use that kind of sentence there. So من عيش لا يستطيع, cannot, a virtuous person cannot reach غايته, his peak, من عيشه, of his life, of his livelihood, living. إلا إذا استطاع أن ينزل. إلا, so this is another nice sort of like إلا إذا استطاع. لا أستطيع أن أفعل هذا إلا إذا. So this exemption is like a very common sort of usage in the Arabic language. You might want to use it yourself. I don't know. How confident are you in trying to play around with words? That's something that you need to work on yourself. But this sentence actually means إلا, unless, except, إذا استطاع. Yeah. So a virtuous man cannot reach his ghaya, min aishi, of his livelihood, إلا إذا استطاع, unless. So you translate it as unless. إذا استطاع, when he is able, and ينزل, when he is able to fall, right? Befall. Yeah, ينزل من نفوس الناس منازل الحب والإكرام. Again, this is a very nice sort of like sentence. So look at this. Nufus nas is basically the hearts of people. Like, you say, this guy has mastered the hearts of people, owns the hearts of people. Right? These people love this guy. So, min nufus nas manazil al-hubbi wal-ikram. The stations of love and honor. So this is an Arabic saying. We don't say this in English. Stations of love. Stations is in reference to like when you go on a journey and you stop at certain stations. You call this a manzil. Yeah. So manazil is a plural. So it's as though the journey of love has certain stations that you have to like reach and stop at. And ikram has the same as well. Yeah. So illa idha istata an yanzil, unless the person is able to come down or settle in the manazil of hubb and ikram, in the hearts of people. In simple English, what is it saying? Unless a person is capable of gaining the love of people, like really getting into the hearts of people and gaining their love, gaining their confidence, and then a virtuous person will never be able to gain his like peak optimum abilities in society. It's a very powerful statement what he's saying. It makes a lot of sense as well. You could be so virtuous, but if people do not have your honor in their hearts, do not have love for you in their hearts, then you're not really going to be able to do much. What do you guys think of that? You let me know as well. Put in the comments. لن يستطيع ذلك إلا إذا عاش بين قوم يعرفون الفضيلة ويعظمون شأنها. Yeah, so لن يستطيع ذلك, cannot do that. لن يستطيع ذلك, cannot do that. إلا إذا عاش, unless a person lives, right? Unless a person lives. In other words, how is it possible for you to be able to reach this level where you can own the hearts of the people? He says, unless a person lives بين قوم, amongst a people, يعرفون, عرف يعرف, who recognize الفضيلة, virtue, ويعظمون شأنها, and they honor its status, like they have in their hearts understanding of how they need to deal with virtue. So if there's a group of people who know what virtue is, but they don't have any honor for it, then these people are not going to be respected. Meaning the virtuous people in the community will not be respected. Does that make sense? So this is why لن يستطيع ذلك, he cannot achieve that إلا إذا عاش, unless he lives بين قوم, amongst people, يعرفون الفضيلة, who recognize virtue, and not only recognize virtue, but also they honor its status, the status of virtue in their society. وَلَنْ يَكُونُوا كَذَلِكَ إِلَّا إِذَا كَانُوا فُضَلَاءَ أَوْ أَشْبَاهَ فُضَلَاء. And then finally he says, وَلَنْ يَكُونُوا, they cannot be كَذَلِكَ, like that, إِلَّا, unless كَانُوا فُضَلَاءَ, they are virtuous themselves, أو أشباها, or they resemble virtuous people. They're like close to being virtuous. So he's saying basically, it's like a ladder kind of explanation where he's going one by one, bit by bit. So لن يكونوا كذلك إلا إذا كانوا فضلاء. They cannot be, they cannot recognize virtue and they cannot honor virtue unless they are virtuous themselves, or at least resemble virtuous people. Okay, so let's try and, say some of these statements now in Arabic. Now, how would we say some of these statements in Arabic? So, for example, like, لا يستطيع الرجل الفاضل أن يبلغ غايته من عيشه. الرجل الذي يملك فضيلة لا يقدر أن يصل إلى ذروته، إلى قمته، إلى كماله في العيش والحياة في المجتمع، إلا إذا استطاع أن ينزل من نفوس الناس منازل الحب والإكرام. ولكن يستطيع، إلا إذا استطاع، إلا إذا كان يقدر ويملك أن ينزل من نفوس الناس، أن يقع في قلوب المجتمع، قلوب الأفراد والناس، منازل الحب، أماكن، مواضع الحب والإكرام، والود والإكرام والاحترام والمودة والإكرام. ولن يستطيع ذلك إلا إذا عاش بين قوم يعرفون الفضيلة ويعظمون شأنها. وأبدا لا يستطيع أن يفعل ذلك، يعني لا يستطيع أن ينزل من نفوس الناس إلا إذا عاش، إلا إذا سكن بين قوم، بين أناس يعرفون الفضيلة، يعني يعلمون ويقدرون الفضيلة ويعظمون شأنها ويكبرون خصلتها ومكانته الفضيلة. ولن يكونوا كذلك، وأبدا لن يصلون إلى هذا إلا إذا كان هؤلاء الناس فضلاء بأنفسهم، أو إذا لم يكونوا فضلاء فعلى الأقل يتشبهون بالفضلاء. So that's the Arabic. Try again. The main thing is, again, guys, is your application. Honestly, you don't know how much application means in Arabic. You must write Arabic. You can watch all the Arabic videos. If you don't start, put pen to paper or finger to key, then you won't be able to. Okay, let's write some questions here for you guys to try and answer, then we finish. Okay, number 1. ما هو الرجل الفاضل؟ So ما هو الرجل الفاضل؟ الرجل الفاضل هو الذي يملك الفضيلة أو عنده الفضيلة. Number 2. لماذا لا يبلغ غايته في عيشه؟ لماذا لا يبلغ غايته في عيشه؟ لا يبلغ غايته في عيشه. Like, why doesn't he reach his غاية in his عيش? Yeah. لأن الناس لا يقدرونه، ليس لهم مكان في قلوبهم لهذا الرجل. Okay. ما معنى يعظمون شأنها؟ ما معنى يعظمون شأنها؟ معنى يعظمون شأنها أنهم يقدرون أو يكبرون منزلة الفضيلة. Okay, number 4. وما هو سر كل ذلك؟ What is the key, the secret to all of that? أن يكونوا فضلاء أو أشباه فضلاء. Okay, last question, it's open question for you guys. هل توافقون صاحب الكتاب ولماذا؟ Do you agree with the author? And if so, why? So mention yourself in Arabic. And again, practice makes perfect, inshallah ta'ala. So guys, take care, inshallah. Have a go at this, and I will see you guys next time. Let me know what you guys think and what else you guys would like me to do. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.